What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the 10 Horse Monty YouTube channel. Hope you've been enjoying the tournament videos. I've been fishing a lot of tournaments, and today, no tournament, man. We are just out here fun fishing, and we are having fun. Been out in the water for just a little bit, catching a few fish. Water temps, man, 65 degrees. Look at that. It's here, guys. Spring is here. Full bluebird skies. Tons of boat traffic. You can tell it's spring when you pull up in the parking lot and there's no place to park, and that's exactly what we experienced this afternoon, or actually late morning. It's about noon right now, but here's what we're doing today. We're gonna do one of my favorite things. There's a lot of fish up shallow. They're spawning, pre-spawn, maybe a little post-spawn, but mainly they're in that spawning cycle. So you're seeing a lot of bucks and you're seeing some females up there shallower. But a wacky rig, this is one of my favorite ways to catch fish. Just throwing a 5-inch yum dinger. This is that BMC weedless Neko hook. It's been one of my favorite hooks for this technique for quite some time. 1/0 hook is perfect for just a 5-inch yum dinger, Cinco, whatever your favorite plastic stick bait, soft stick bait of choice is. And we're throwing it on this 7-foot tool, 7'2" Purchase Jewel. RIP, Purchase Jewel, it's hard for me to say that. All-purpose spinning rod, so it's a medium heavy. We've got 15-pound braid. I like the yellow high vis so I can see what's going on. A lot of times you gotta watch your line. Just watch it move, because a lot of times they just pick it up and you don't really see anything. Or you'll see it jump a little tick, and I got it tied on to 10-pound fluorocarbon. 10 to 12-pound fluorocarbon. I mean, I could use 12-pound fluorocarbon, no problem. But we're fishing shallow, man. This is like OG LiveScoping, man. We're just looking for spots. You'll see these tan spots in the grass, and there's likely to be a fish. Any kind of wood. These fish love to spawn up against wood. A wacky rig is a great technique. It's easy to fish. You just cast, let it fall on a slack line and pop it a couple times and let it fall on a slack line. It's great for a beginner to a pro. I mean, it's an excellent way to catch fish. So, Finn, I forgot to tell you, this is actually the Tin and Finn show. Because Finn's out here. We haven't been in the boat together in quite a while. We're both kind of getting over the Rona, but we're doing better. So anyway, yada, yada, yada. Let's put this camera down, see if we can catch a few fish. Casting the light spots. A lot of bucks up here shallow. This is fun. This is fun. This is what we've been waiting on. Oh yeah. There we go. Catching the fire out of these little guys. It's good to see. Good to see. There we go. Good fish. Laying up against that laydown. Right where he's supposed to be. Alright. Here we go. Good quality fish. A wacky rig. That sucker ate it too, sitting right up against that piece of wood there. So when I'm working this wacky rig, I mean, I tend to skip it a little bit. So just skip it out there and just give it some slack. See how I got my braids floating? It's got a lot of slack. I'm just gonna let it fall for like 5-6 seconds maybe, and then I'll just pop it like that and then give it slack. So that bait's just going up off the bottom, and then it's falling real slow. that's what entices this fish to bite. And then you just kind of repeat that all the way back to the boat. Spinning rod, probably the best way to fish this. You don't have to have a spinning rod, but it allows you to skip it a little bit easier. And that braid floats. You know, if I have thrown it on a bait caster, like just a 7-foot medium heavy bait caster with, I don't know, like 12 to 15 pound fluorocarbon. It works fine too. But spinning rod's easier. You can just skip it out there and just kind of high stick it and watch your line. Definitely gonna watch your line, because a lot of times you don't see the bite. You will see your line kind of move off to the side, or you just go to pick it up and it's heavy. So you always got to be ready, because I mean these fish have been really shallow. I mean I can't see back in the shade, but it doesn't matter because they're roaming the shade. So you really got to pay attention to that line. Back to back cast. Buckarooskies. There we go. Wacky fish. Get up in here. Yum dinger. Just kind of cruising shallow looking for fish. There's a little bed right there. Just fan casted and that little buck came off that bed. Grabbed it. Pretty fish. Is that a fish? Yeah, good fish. Fish got some shoulders right up on that wood, man. They're definitely on that wood. Come out of the grass. There we go. Good fish, family, that guy. Oh, Wacky rig is paying off. Another good solid fish. They're eating it too, look at that. Good stuff. Yeah, there's a light spot right there. Got a lot of glare. I have no idea if there's a fish on it, but there's definitely a lighter spot right there. That's kind of what we've been looking for. It's not the only thing that's been working, but that's what we've been looking for, just to give us some targets. And I'm just kind of a little bit of back cast, just like that was. You probably can't even see that, but it's right there. That was right where I need to be. If there's a fish on there, that's the cast. Just gonna pick up on it. Apparently nobody was home. But they'll also be in the area. Like, so just because I didn't catch a fish off that bed doesn't mean there's not some roaming around. They may not be locked on. I may have spooked them. But if you see beds, there's going to be fish in the area. So you definitely want to fan cast a few more times before just moving on. There he is. There's nothing. Wacky rig fish.
There we go. Fish are heavy right now. Beautiful. There we go. Good fish. Nice fish. Hooked exactly like you want them. Go. A wacky rig fish. Man, they're not everywhere. You know, the first spot I caught them really good, and I've been running around, and you really got to hunt and peck. They've not pulled up shallow everywhere. I checked a couple coves and just dead. But you get in the right area and you start getting some bites. But you just got to keep your head down and move. If it don't feel right, you got to move for sure. All right, folks, as we're going along here, I'll just show what I'm kind of looking for. I mean, most of the fish I've caught have not been actually on beds. They've been around the beds. But you can see this light spot right here. That's what we're looking for. That is a bed. It's just stuck in all this grass, and it kind of stands out like a sore thumb. So if I see something like that, I'm definitely casting over there. And they're not in every bed for sure, but it just gives you something to target as you're moving down the bank. You see something light like that, you definitely want to pitch over there, because it seems like about 1 out of every 10, maybe 2 out of every 10, there'll be a fish on it. And they'll also be in the area. So just because you don't get one off that bed, kind of fan cast around there. You know, a lot of times they're not locked on, but they're in the area. Like I'm seeing a couple more right up here as we get around this point. Ooh. Nice fish. That fish was in nothing. Fish is in absolutely 0 inches of water. I couldn't even see it. It's crazy. There we go. That's a nice fish. Good fish. Another good fish on the old Wacky Jacky. Seems like they're starting to move up a little bit. Fish is just sitting in the shade. I mean, I just fan casting really. I didn't see anything that looked good. You know, think about a bass, man. They got ultimate camouflage. They can be in like, I mean, that fish was in 12 inches of water. As long as they're not moving, you can't see them. I can't see them. I mean, some people can, but I certainly can't. Ooh, they're so big. They're so big. I saw beds sitting up there. They're so big. Come on, baby. Come on in here. I saw the bed. It's amazing. Like a fish this size can be sitting right there and you don't even see him. That's a nice one. That's a nice fish. Come here, baby. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that, folks. Chumbawamba, Wacky rig. Man, this is fun. Look at that's peeing, which technically I guess means it's a male. It's a big male. Man, that's a beautiful fish. Look at that. Just a little bed right there. I didn't see that fish. Had no idea. I just skipped my little wacky worm in there, and it just got heavy. It just got heavy. Man, good stuff. All right, folks, let's let this 5-younder go. That's a nice fish. Little bitty old silly worm, do nothing worm. Beautiful fish. You gonna hang out with me? That's what we're throwing right here, folks. This is the VMC weedless Neko hook. 1/0 is the size I throw most of the time, and it looks like this out of the package. It's got these 2 pieces of kind of heavy mono. It doesn't look like much, but it's just enough to keep it weedless, and it doesn't impede your hook set. Just it's been a really good solid hook. You can you know, just straight wacky rig. You can nail weight the worm, however you want to do it. Great hooks. And then we're using this right here, just a yum dinger. I mean, this is probably one of the cheapest, least expensive baits out there, and it really doesn't matter. The Max Scent, Berkeley Max Scent, is a really good worm. It's a little more expensive. This is a good worm. The Fat Ace by Gambler. Man, there's so many of them out there. The Cinco, of course. You really can't go wrong. I mean, the Yum Dinger has a really slow fall though compared to the Cinco, and most of these fish that we're catching are like 1 to 4 foot. So this is great for that situation. This is a green pumpkin purple. Really good color in water that's 2 foot of visibility or cleaner. Can't go wrong. So the Cinco, or I mean, we call it Cinco, that's just a generic name, but the soft stick bait, the Yum Dinger at least, has a little slit in there, and then you've got this egg sac. I typically try to go right, you know, here's basically if you fold this sucker in half, the tail side of here's your egg sac right here, and then here's your tail. I go to the tail side of that egg sac, and if you look on here, there is a slit. So basically I'm going as far towards the tapered inside as I can, and then that's where I'm going to put my hook in there. I mean, that's about right in the middle. That way you get the slower fall. If you're going to nail weight it, or if you want it to fall a little bit faster, you may go to one side or the other, and it's going to kind of do this. But this, hooking it right here in the middle, right in that egg sac, is going to make that thing fall. And the whole key is, we've been catching fish off of beds. We're not looking at them. I have not actually seen a fish on a bed, but we're looking for those little light spots, and we're skipping this little sucker around it. And you just skip it out there and give it some slack and just let it fall. You know, let it fall for 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, depending on the depth, and then pop it up, and then just let it fall. And you just repeat. When you get out of that bed or you get closer to the boat, you just reel it in and do it all over again. These beds right now are in like 2 to 4 feet. I'm sure there's some out a little deeper. You know, typically your bigger fish spawn a little bit deeper, and some of the better fish I've caught have been on those beds that are like in that 4 foot. And you got to really look to see those. A good set of polarized glasses helps a lot. This is the time of year where you really want to have some good shades. These are Bahio. I've been wearing these Bahio for several years. This is the rose lens. It's an excellent color for looking up shallow for sight fishing. They got several good frames and several good lens colors. But if you know, whatever you do, make sure you get a pretty good quality set of shades, because it's going to help you locate those beds. They're just kind of in the middle of the grass. You get a lot of grass, and you just see this like nice little tan area. And the fish like to spawn in flatter stuff. So flatter banks. We're catching a lot of these fish back in these little short pockets. I've looked out on the main lake, and I'm really not seeing beds, and that's another thing that's going on. I checked a bunch of different areas, but they're not spawning everywhere. And that's something that'll happen in your lake. You'll get a little section of the lake where the spawning is going on, and you'll move a couple miles away and you won't see anything. So it kind of goes, they go in little waves. They don't all come up at one time. But the section that I'm in right now is where the spawning is going on. I've tried to expand it, and it's just not happening yet in those areas. Typically the back of your creeks warm up quicker, so that's where your first spawn is. Right now we're just right outside of a creek arm, kind of sort of mid-lake, in between two basic creeks. And it seems like those fish have pulled up over the last couple days and they're setting up on beds. So this right here is deadly around the spawn. There we go. Right through my worm off. Sucker. Ah, man, these fish are healthy. Scrappy little healthy suckers. There we go. Got another one. Like I said, you just go a while without getting a bite and you pull in the right little section, you start getting lit up. And that never gets a hold. That's so fun. Get up in here. Get up in here. Oh, that is a blast. It's one of my favorite ways to fish. Little skinny old sucker there. Looking for the light spots. These fish. Just right underneath that tree. That's a good fish. Break me off. There we go. Come here. Come here, buddy. There we go. That's a good one. There you go, folks. We're gonna wrap it up on that one, man. A little wacky rig getting it done. It's a great way to catch fish during the spawn, around the spawn, and in the post spawn. I mean, that's a nice, healthy fish. Look at that. It's peeing a little bit. Yep. Good solid fish, man. That is fun. There's nothing like the drag. The zzz. I'm addicted to that spinning rod drag. It's good stuff. Thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I'll have links to the products in the description box. So check out Baitworks. Use the code THM10, get you 10% off your order. Until next time.